Hi guys, my name is David Andrew, aka Shem Words, and I have this piece for you guys. But before the piece, I just want to just briefly say something. I've heard so many times people say that they need to, clean themselves up, get themselves together, do away with all the sins before they can come to God. But I just want us to know something. Jesus said that it was while we were yet sinners that He came and died. He didn't wait till we clean ourselves up or whatever it is we want to do. He came right in the midst of our sins. And most times in Jesus's ministry, he do tell people that he came for the sinners and not the righteous. So don't bother, don't try to clean yourself up. At the end of everything, your righteousness will still be like a filthy rag before God. But just come and embrace his own kind of righteousness. It's the perfect kind of righteousness. And Romans said that if we continue in the flesh, we will die. But if by the Spirit we put aside the misdeeds of the flesh, we will live. It means that it is only by the Spirit you can do these things. You cannot on your own clean yourself up. It will not work. It will not work. It's by the Spirit. So just allow the Spirit just move you, allow the Spirit take control. But you have to really come to Him first. You come to Him and then you allow the Spirit to really flow through you. And I just pray that this peace will really bring about liberation to so many people that are suffering whatever form of addiction, whatever form of sin it is. I just pray that this peace will really, really speak to our hearts. And if you feel that this is worth it, please do feel free to share to any social media platform. And if possible, you can tag me if you wish. It's just your choice. But I pray that this will really be a blessing to so many lives out there. God bless you.
I surrender to you. Everything I give to you, withholding nothing, withholding nothing. I give you all of me. 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 Withholding nothing. Withholding nothing. Yeah. Man, you should have heard him sing that song. It was as if his voice was manufactured by the puncture of the vocal cords of two angels in short. You should have seen his expressions. You would think that this guy lives in motion with the Spirit, but that is not all. When he speaks, all that comes to your mind is the great King Solomon. See, this guy is like an encyclopedia. I mean, a compendium of wisdom. He was well known and well respected too by both his peers and the parents he knew. He relates really well with the people around. In fact, you can say that he's a perfect example of an ideal man for any cultured woman. But that was him during the day. And at night, he barely loses sight, flipping through pages and studying each for insight. But there was a problem, a very big one. Because you see, instead of flipping through pages of the Bible and studying each chapter with keen interest, he was flipping through pages of pornographic sites and studying each nude picture with keen interest. That it's deep into his marrows. See, he was lost in his lust. I mean, deeply lost. In fact, he was already 6 years gone. He's a slow fade when you give yourself away. Jesus, no fear. Black and white, eternal gray, and thoughts in vain. The choices are made, the price to be paid when you give yourself away. So people never crumble in a day. Jesus, no fear. Jesus, no fear. See, it all started with a glance. Exploring the phone that was kept in his hands, curiosity made him go through each folder and files until he got to the ones that enslaved his eyes. See, at first it was disgusting, but then a seed has been planted and that was a start. You can say that curiosity has killed the cat. Addiction. That passion that gives you the illusion that you are nowhere near commotion. See, he was drowning. Slowly. Feeding his fantasy. And soon images became invalid, so he moved to movies. But before each glance was a conviction from the spirit. During each glance was fulfillment in the act, and after each glance were tons of regret that soon fades away and brings him back to the beginning of the circle. What a life. That every day he goes to church wearing a brother personality, then returns home to be a pauper in secrecy. See, messed up was his spirituality, so to impress all became his personality. No wonder his impression was highly praised, because his expressions were actually to impress all. He had become a perfect example of the modern day Pharisee, with hypocrisy governing his everyday life, but it was too far to see. He was drowning, slowly drowning. There are things I don't like to do, but I find myself doing them. There are things I don't like to do, but I find myself doing them. So help me, God, help me, Lord, hold my hands and lift me up. Oh Lord, help me, Lord, hold my hands and lift me up. Oh God, yeah. But that was not the kind of life he wanted. I mean, tears endure for a night, but joy comes in the morning. But his life was the opposite. So the joy of fulfillment endured through the night, and then tears of regret comes in the morning. See, he was always sorry for neglecting the spirit's convictions, fed up with momentary satisfactions, and tired of always ending up in backward reflections. He was ashamed of the person he had become. If he was to meet God at that point, God would have tasted and spat him out, because he was lukewarm. But how can I get out of this mess, was the question on his mind. Because even while glancing through those decayed sights, he still longed to be saved. See, he was like a deer, panting for that water brook of freedom that lies ahead, but stuck with a broken knee on the trail of a hungry lion. But he never gave up. He kept on walking with a limp. See, he wanted so bad to get out of that mess. 'Cause I'm no longer a slave to fear. I am a child of God. I'm no longer a slave to sin. No. I am a child of God. So in his limp, he resorted to reading spiritual books. In his limp, he continued going to church. In his limp, he sought spiritual counsel. In his limp, he flips through pages of the Bible, studying each chapter with keen interest until he realized that that cross 2,000 years ago is still standing for him. That the blood from those nail-pierced hands are still flowing for him. That the chains that were broken 2,000 years ago can no longer hold him bound ever again. Until he realized that he's no longer a slave to addiction. And you know why? Because he is a child of God. So from his limp, he leaped. Yes, he leaped into that water brook of freedom that holds no momentary satisfaction but eternal satisfaction. And today you can say that he lives in motion with the Spirit because the Father's Spirit is in agreement with the Spirit. Today you can say that that cat that was killed by curiosity was buried in the blood of the Lamb but resurrected a lion. Today you can call that pauper in secrecy a preacher publicly. Today that modern day Pharisee is dead and resurrected as a hard-born Jew. Today you can call him a son of God, a brother to Jesus. I mean an heir of the Father and a co-heir with the Son. Today he has a new identity. Today the archives of heaven no longer hold history of his sins. We can say that heaven has just encountered a permanent amnesia. And don't bother asking God why he has forgotten and forgiven his sins so soon, because that is the beauty of grace.
Amazing grace, how sweet the sound that saved the wretch like me. I once was lost, but now I'm found. Was blind, but now I see. Thank you, Jesus.